Because it is when we are looked at the way God looks at us that we're changed. Brothers and sisters, may the Lord give you his peace. Fr Malachy, great to be here with you again this week. There is this beautiful phrase from the Old Testament, 1 Samuel 16:7, where God says, "For the Lord does not see as human beings see. For human beings see the appearance, but God sees the heart." And I know so many times in life, I feel like I have failed to see the heart of others and just seen the appearance. And there's many times when this experience of being seen in this way also keeps me from being open to relationship with other people. And I was just contemplating this in the context of this relationship between the church and the world and the church, those who know and try and follow Jesus and those who not sure if he exists or perhaps even have had a horrible or scandalous experience thereof. And I was traveling not too long ago. I was on a plane heading down to Florida. Here on this 6 a.m. flight comes this dude who's making a ruckus through the plane. And it's he's bumping into people. He's talking to people. He's making comments. I'm seeing him walking down the aisle. And inside, I'm just oh man, come on, Jesus. I was kind of hoping to sleep on this flight. Sure enough, he stops right in front of me. Says, "Yo, my seat there." I get up, let him get in. He sits down. He's fumbling with different things, putting his bag underneath the seat in front of him. He turns to me and he's just "So what are you supposed to be? You gonna try and convert me or something?" And I look at him. I was "Well, do you need converting?" He was "No." He gets all angry with me. And we're sitting here and we're beginning to take off. And as we're beginning to take off, I make the sign of the cross to pray. And then this guy looks at me and he's "You know what?" He was "You're going to be doing your praying. I'm going to be doing mine." Reaches into his bag and pulls out a small bottle with some liquor in it. He says, "I brought holy water." And he shoots some of whatever this liquor was into his mouth. It was "You want some?" I was "I'm good for now, man. Thanks." And at a certain point, whatever uppers he was on ran out. He passed out. When he wakes up, probably an hour later, we've got about half an hour before we're going to land. And he starts talking to me about what he's going to be doing when he gets there. He's going to this party, going on these boats. There's going to be these girls. And he's "What are you doing?" I was "Well, I'm going to a retreat for priests." He was "Man, forget that, dude. Come with me, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I will show you the time of your life." And I'm sitting here listening to him, and he's been telling me all these things that he's done, the money that he's made, the people that he knows, the party that he's going to, the girls that are going to be there, how I have to come and see this amazing thing that he's going to be doing. And as he's saying all of this, I'm sitting here and I was honestly, man, my heart's totally content right now. Thanks for the offer, but not interested. We get off the plane. We're leaving. He's walking away. There's this brief moment. He stops and he looks back at me, just turns for a moment. He looks me in the eyes and he says, "Please pray for me. I need it." And then his face changes again. He turns, he goes back into this I've got everything. We're doing great. I'm the party guy. Let's go mode, and just takes off through the airport, walking quickly. I share this moment because of this, brothers and sisters, that too often there's this presumption, and I would say on the part of the church and believers, a presumption, right? That when I see somebody in this kind of, presentation of maybe they're in some way being offensive to me or to the church, or would appear that everything in their life is just beautiful and wonderful and they're happy as can be, I would propose to you that his heart, like my heart, like your heart, are all longing for the same reality, are made for this truth, this presence that is love. And we're made not for just love in a generic sense, but the God who is love. And we believe that the God who is love loved us enough to become one of us. Love became flesh, became visible for us in the person of Jesus Christ. For someone who might be on the outside of the church, it's very likely that you've had the experience of being judged, of being looked at because of those appearances. And I apologize for that. I mean, as a member of the church, as the clergy, forgive us for not seeing your heart, for judging what's on the exterior. But I also would say, hey, look deeper into your own heart, but also look deeper into the reality of this mystery that is the church and the gospel that it proclaims. And for those who are in the church, I would like to say, could we for a moment ask the grace to stop looking at the world and other people through appearances long enough to stop seeing them as my enemy so that I can start seeing them with the love that God has for them. That is to say, to stop seeing the appearances and to begin seeing the heart. When this happens, when we're looked at this way, when someone relates to us this way, it changes us. St. Francis, early on, one of his followers, Sylvester, was this kind of miserly priest who came when St. Francis was giving away everything that Bernard, one of his other early followers, had from his wealth, and is just giving everything away in Assisi. And this man comes up wanting to grasp at and get as much as he can for himself. And Francis sees him and sees this look in his eyes, this kind of this greed, this avarice, right? This need to possess, to feel secure by having more of something. And Francis sees him and he says, "Here, take more." And he looks at him in this way, and he doesn't judge him. And he actually gives him the thing that he's asking for that's actually not what he really is asking for. Because of this, Sylvester ends up going back and realizing the emptiness of the kind of like vain pleasures and power and money that he's seeking. And he has this profound conversion, becomes a part of this community of faith along with St. Francis and his other followers, and discovers this profound joy that he did not have before. Because it is when we are looked at the way God looks at us that we're changed. That the thing in our heart that really is crying out like, "Hey, pray for me. I need it." But I can't say that. The only thing I can say is, "Hey, I got my holy water," and take a shot of whiskey, right? I might not be able to articulate out loud what the heart's aching for, but will we have the eyes? Will we ask for this grace in our own life? And I would challenge you, like, who in your life do you look at based on their appearances? Could be a group of people, could be a particular person in your life that you judge. You've got them in a box, you have a label on them, you know who they are. And you relate to them based on that instead of allowing God to open your heart, your eyes to see their heart. Would you dare to allow God to open your heart to see the heart of another, and especially the other who might be the enemy, someone who's difficult for you to love? It's not easy, because when we see one another this way, and when we are seen this way, this is what opens us up to this love that we are all made for. And this love has a name, Jesus. He's the one we continue to follow. Let him look at you this way, and let him teach you how to look at others this way. God bless.